Late character actor Ed Wheeler did his job so well that Law and Order featured him in small parts 6 different times. Wheeler has been well known in New York since 1973 as a character actor and has appeared in many television shows as well as starring in several movies. One of his most recent roles was on Blue Bloods, but he also participated in several of Law and Order's best episodes. The roles that Wheeler played in Law and Order demonstrated his versatility and talent. Although he was never part of the main Law and Order cast, every role he played was memorable, and he played a wide range of characters. He most often appeared as a member of the community the detectives were interviewing in regards to an investigation, but in later appearances, he played a prosecutor and a detective, thus demonstrating that he could do any type of role well. All 6 characters Ed Wheeler played on Law and Order explained. Each character was different and contributed to the story in a small way. Ed Wheeler shared scenes with many of Law and Order's best characters, playing a different one-off character each time. One of the many things the world lost upon his death was his vast knowledge of the ways Law and Order evolved over the years. His first appearance was in Season 2, but the majority of his roles took place after Jerry Orbach and Sam Waterston had become closely associated with the series. Thus, it would have been interesting to learn his perspective on the changes in the series each time he appeared, especially his thoughts about characters who did not return to Law and Order. Although Wheeler only played small roles, he was so memorable that many obituaries memorialized him as a Law and Order star. His frequent appearances make him as much a part of Law and Order's legacy as the show is part of his, and his roles are still enjoyable to watch 30 years after the first time he appeared. This is not always the case, especially for characters who are meant to be interchangeable or forgettable, such as the witness Wheeler played in his first appearance. Wheeler's roles were so memorable because he took every job seriously, putting his heart and soul into it and making the character seem real. His characters all had unique characteristics and quirks, and he made an ordinary guy who worked in a bakery as important and memorable as the cops who were the stars of the show. Wheeler's talent as a character actor and his refusal to see any role as too small to shine in helped leave a lasting impression after every episode he appeared in. Ed Wheeler is the kind of actor who helped make Law and Order great. Law and Order Matt Sturges sitting at a desk making a point. Law and Order owes its success partially to its guest cast. While Law and Order Season 24 has fresh stories and interesting main characters, these stories would not be possible to produce without guest actors playing small roles. Those guest actors have some heavy lifting to do even though they may only appear in 1 or 2 scenes. They have to make the characters believable and interesting to contribute meaningfully to the plot of their episodes. Wheeler understood this instinctively and worked hard to make each small role important. Wheeler was one of the most memorable character actors to grace TV screens in the past several decades. Every one of his characters was memorable, and his work lives on in reruns of Law and Order. The soft reboot has lost something valuable because Wheeler died before he had an opportunity to again appear in the series. Law and Order was lucky to work with him 6 times, and he undoubtedly would have contributed even more to it if it had been possible to do so.